Opinions stated by various contributors to the Money and Business Show and related programs are not to be considered as endorsed by Radio Shalom, its employees, TE Wealth, TE Mirador, TE Financial Consultants, or TE Investment Counsels, Inc. Visitors to this program are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusions. Please read your prospectus and consult with your own investment advisor.
Live from the studios of Radio Shalom, 1650 AM in Montreal, Canada, the city of Joie de Vivre, the world capital of culinary variety, and the home of the Montreal Canadiens. This is the Money and Business Show with your host, Samuel Izurzer, consultant with TE Mirador, a national wealth management company answering to all your financial planning needs since 1972, known as TE Wealth in the rest of the country and headquartered in Toronto. Every week, Samuel and his guests discuss money, investments, financial services, and the world economy. Over the next hour, you can have your questions about business and personal finances answered. So call 514-738-4100 extension 200 to speak with Samuel and his guests. And now, here is the host of the Money and Business Show, Samuel Izurzer.
Money, and financial divorce specialist. Some marriages end suddenly, while others seem to fall apart over a long period of time. No matter what the cause, if your marriage fails, you are likely to feel a whole range of intense emotions: sadness, anger, hurt, fear of uncertain financial future, loneliness, confusion over many decisions you must make, and a sense of failure at your loss, plans, and dreams. Divorce is a life-altering and often financially challenging event. More often than not, the standard of living of both spouses drops in the first few years after divorce. That's because the same cumulative income and pool of assets now has support of two households instead of one. Unfortunately, most people don't prepare themselves financially or emotionally for that consequence. Over 150,000 Canadians separate each year, and 75,000 divorce. Depending on the province, up to one-half of all marriages end in failure. Increasingly, financial advisors, particularly those qualified as financial divorce specialists, are becoming involved in helping people through divorce. As well, all know divorce can be very damaging emotionally and financially. There are financial divorce specialists who are uniquely qualified to assist in dealing with the often complex financial issues in a divorce, more so than a lawyer or a trusted accountant. It is generally understood that the assets are split 50-50 in a divorce. But what does this mean in specific circumstances? Various assets may have different values depending on a number of factors, including present and future taxation. So can the financial divorce specialist help clients avoid making costly mistakes in the division of assets as they relate to their future well-being? Can the financial divorce specialist save couples, with their high legal costs? Do they give legal advice or provide mediation services? More often than not, does the standard of living of both spouses drop dramatically in the first few years after divorce, and why? So what can you do to better prepare yourself if you plan to divorce? Is the answer simple? No. Today we will also discuss a new trend in divorce dispute and process. It's a new concept called collaborative divorce, a form of alternative dispute resolution in which the financial professional serves as a neutral counsel to both spouses, who are each represented by a collaborative lawyer. Today, live on the Money and Biz Show to discuss collaborative divorce and its financial impact on couples is Catherine Jankowski. She is the Vice President Financial Divorce Specialist in Toronto for T.E. Wealth. And from Montreal, participating in our discussion is Joanne Elizabeth O'Hanlon from O'Hanlon Sanders Texiera Law Firm in Westmount. My name is Samuel Izurzer, your host of the Money and Biz Show on Radio Shalom, CJRS 1650 AM. Thank you for tuning in live with our business studio headquarters in Montreal, the financial capital, and the home of the greatest hockey team, yes sir, the Montreal Canadiens. We have another great show for you today, and as always, you can call if you have any questions, comments, or if you have any criticism on today's topic. Please call us directly at 514-738 4100 extension 200, or email me at the moneyandbusinessshow@gmail.com. I repeat, moneyandbusinessshow@gmail.com, or if you want to text me at 514-752-7779. If you want to text me some of your questions, you may. You can also visit our website, www.radio-shalom.ca. All our shows are archived there. I work as a financial consultant for TE Mirador, has been providing corporate executive and CEO families, employers, and employees with independent wealth management and financial education since 1972. You can visit our website for my contact information at www.temirador.com. Today, our topic will be surviving financially after divorce. Great subject to talk about. It is an inside look with divorce professionals and the role of financial divorce specialists, and how it can affect your standard of living if you got the wrong advice. And also, I just wanted to say hi to Morris Cousino, who's in Jamaica. If you're listening to the show, it's about 4 o'clock. I'm sure he's in the beach. But we're also basking in the sun over here. It's very hot here in Montreal, but 26, 27 degrees, breaking all kinds of records. I got a glass of water here, ready to do the show. Because today's show, you know, it hits everyone. We're talking about divorce. It's just not an easy subject to talk about. We all go to our therapist. We try to make it work. It's easy to get married. But getting married is tough along the way. There's a lot of work along the way. And what happens is that things happen and break up. Now, whatever reason it could be. It could be, it could be a financial situation, a job, someone who's infidel with another spouse, all various reasons. But I want to take the emotional part of it and uniquely speak about the financial situation of divorce specialists, or what happens to someone who is divorced. That's why I call it surviving financially after divorce. And if anybody who is divorced will probably understand a little bit more than someone who's not divorced what I'm really talking about, because your standard of living right now has changed. Now you're paying, your ex-wife, you're paying child support, and also you may have a new girlfriend, or you may have a wife. So you have, your income is split in two now. Same thing with the other spouse. So how do we, get all this through? And let's take the emotional part again, and let's talk about the financial part. Let's talk about how we can look into the future and say, you know what, if I'm going through a divorce, what should I do? Should I just, talk to my accountant, a lawyer, a friend, somebody, or an investment advisor? How am I going to support myself? And today we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about divorce professionals, people out there who actually can help you. So if you know anyone that wants to listen to the show, and they're probably out there, today is a good show to listen to because it hits a lot of us today. So live from Toronto is, let me talk about, actually, today I'm doing the show alone. So today we have Joanne Elizabeth O'Hanlon from O'Hanlon Sanders Teixeira. She has an undergrad degree from Concordia University. She received a Bachelor of Civil Law degree, a Bachelor of Law degree, Common Law, and a Master of Law degree from McGill University. She is also a lawyer trained in collaborative law. Joanne has been practicing in the field of family law since 1995. Her specialty is negotiations and alternative dispute resolutions, and all while providing litigation services when necessary. How are you? How you doing, Joanne?
Great, thanks.
Thanks for thanks for taking some time. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm anxious to start answering some questions, if possible.
Yes, well, I can't wait to hear what you have to say also. But by the way, you wrote a master thesis at McGill on game theory and family law negotiations. I mean, what does mathematics and family law negotiations have to do with law? I mean, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, well, certainly it's a relatively new concept in bringing game theory into the legal realm, into legal disputes. But in brief, game theory, it's a branch of mathematical analysis that was developed to study decision-making in conflict situations. So you can see the parallel already in that in family law, obviously you're dealing with high conflict situations. So what I wanted to see is if our current paradigms for dealing with divorce and separation could benefit from applying game theory. Now, game theory, it's an economic term. It's bandied around a lot in the field of economics, but it is a branch of mathematics, and we live in a time where technology is in the forefront of our lives. So I wanted to see if it was possible to take that scientific side of things and apply it to something purely social. And the outcome was very interesting.
So what I know about strategic game, it represents a situation where, I guess, two or more participants are faced with a choice, right, an action.
Exactly.
Just like two people who are breaking up, right, and going through a divorce. So they may gain or lose it. Is that what you're talking about here?
Exactly.
Okay.
Game theory looks at the concept of a win-win situation. Currently, in our typical litigation scenario, you have winners and you have losers. Whether that's a perceived notion or a real notion is completely irrelevant. People think about going to court and know that someone's going to be unhappy, and that's true. Whereas when applying game theory to negotiations, the goal is to come up with something where both parties can be happy, a win-win. And that whole concept of win-win and how to put it into place can be done through applying different procedures of game theory.
Wow, I got to read that master's thesis in more in detail. But I'm also going to introduce our guest live from Toronto is Catherine Jankowski. She is the Vice President and Financial Divorce Specialist for T.E. Wealth in Toronto. Catherine has more than 20 years in financial services and wealth management. As an accredited financial divorce specialist, Catherine is uniquely equipped to help people plan financially through separation, divorce, and remarriages, each of which bring their own complexities to an individual's and family finances. How are you? How you doing, Catherine?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Thank you for taking some time off, because this is a hot issue here, I guess globally around the world, right?
Of course, there are many people, unfortunately, that need my services. So,
Right. So how did you become a divorce specialist?
Well, initially, obviously I've had a career in financial services for some time, and I was married with 2 children, and in 2001 went through my own divorce. And some people ask me, are you sort of capitalizing on a bad situation? But I don't look at it that way. I think that the experience that I've had in going through my own negotiations and really understanding it from a financial perspective, I really like to help people, and I feel that when I have, because I have my accreditation, the financial divorce specialist accreditation, I can use the skill sets and my knowledge to help people during their negotiation, their divorce.
I see. You're breaking up a little bit there. Catherine and Joanne, please stay on the line. We're going to be taking a little break. Again, my name is Samuel Izerza for the Money Biz Show on Radio Shalom, CJRS 1650 in Montreal. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.